Now the fifth element, which is perhaps the glue that brings these four elements together, and also the space which separates one from the other so they can differentiate themselves, as Lon Duquette so beautifully talks about. That would be spirit. That's the, the quintessential, the fifth element. Spirit is the archetype of conscience. And spirit is the fifth element. Spirit is, in a way, it's the bridge between the human and the celestial and the godly, the transcendent. Now, we were talking about these four elements. The goal, we all have all different portions of each of them in our personality, and the goal is really wholeness, in a way, to have access to and a working relationship with each of the four functions. The old way of thinking was, just go with what you do best. If you're a thinker, then just think at the expense of your feeling. And often you find this in universities or in various places in our culture. You have very one-sided people who are brilliant in what they do, but they're woefully, deficient in other things. Could be that you are a sensate person. Southern California is filled with sensate people that are great with their bodies, and they develop, and they're physically fit, and they're very oriented towards sensation and pleasure and action and all of this, but they really are not able to sit long enough and appreciate a subtle work of art because it requires intuition. The new model, as I see it, is a wholeness in place of perfectionism. Not becoming totally involved in that one corner of the quadrant that you specialize in, but rather pulling back and trying to, in a way, develop or do some work on those places where you're not as strong in the service of wholeness, roundedness, basically the mandala. And that's the new teaching. That's the new way of understanding, I think, what higher consciousness or the development of consciousness is all about. It's creating a sense of balance and wholeness into the different constituents, the four constituents.